rooted in ag for over 80 years. Learn more at fbfs.com/rootedin.
309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck, Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com. That's iHeartResults.com.
844. KFYR 550 Guns in the 701. Clay's solo today. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
Good. I was supposed to play I'm a Cowboy for you, so. Smoking armadillos.
I'm a cowboy.
And for those of you feeling aerobic or cardiolic today, I'm inventing a word there, maybe. It's the dance mix. In case you want to do some extra cardio today. Guns in the 701, about 8:40-ish on Friday mornings here on KFYR 550 as we slice and dice some of what's gone wrong, goofy, or just as breaking news. But a mistrial for that border rancher accused of shooting the illegal immigrant down to Arizona. And
we covered this here, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I guess, probably. I know we had it on our main show, and I think we even did it on yours at one point.
I think so.
George Allen Kelly, he's 75 years old. He actually retired from Montana down to Arizona and had an illegal alien, actually a couple of them that had been going across his land, and who knows how many more, visiting with people down there. But basically, he finally had enough. He fired a few shots over the head, supposedly, or in that general direction with his AK-47. And he reported this several times to Border Patrol. Finally, he called them because he said, hey, he says, I heard a shot, and he thought he might have to return fire. They came out, they found nothing. And then later in the evening, Kelly actually found the body of this scumbag who come across our border illegally about 115 yards from the house. He called authorities. They took the body. They put it in the freezer, which I imagine that's what you do. And then
I don't know what.
Didn't have the exact time of death.
What would you do? I don't know. I guess that's what you do. I don't know what I'd do. Well, first of all, I'd be surprised I hit a target in the first place. But that's a different story. But this at least short of the AK-40, the Assault Killer 47, because that's what it stands for, depending on who you talk to. That was sarcasm, folks. Short of that, though, it's the perfect Second Amendment litmus test. Wouldn't you expect? I would expect if I'm crossing through somebody's land without permission that there might be a warning shot or two fired?
Well, it's definitely something that's going to cross your mind, I would hope, but not these people. I mean, this guy, they found him, and he had a radio on him. He had names, he had pictures. He had pictures of a guy that actually was with him before. He'd been deported. 2016, he'd been deported. And several times before that. I mean, it's not like he was this great man that the prosecution tried to actually portray that he was just coming here for a better life and he's trying to escape poverty. No, most likely he was probably a drug mule. That particular area of Arizona is heavy traffic for the drug cartels. And it carries over to New Mexico. I had a guest on here about 2 months ago, and she lives it every day because they got land right across the border as well. And it's just constant. I mean, they've got trails. I imagine it's no different on this guy's place as well. And he finally, I think, had enough of it. He felt threatened, and I think I would too. Now, they did find no weapon on this particular illegal alien. Doesn't mean that he didn't have one. Who knows? But they also couldn't match any kind of, being there were casings where basically Mr. Kelly actually shot, but they could never find a bullet that actually matched the ballistics of the firearm. So really, did he hit him? Don't know. I kind of look at it this way. It's probably a happy ending of the week. It ended in a mistrial. They could not come to an agreement, the jury, and so the judge declared a mistrial. Yes, it could go back to court, but who knows? They spent a lot of time and money on this already, so this may just be done.
Dude is 75. Leave him alone. Yeah. It's a guy who just is trying to protect his land, and that's the thing about the southern border. It's not that everybody wants to turn away Mexican families or something. One, we don't need drug mules, and two, it ain't just Mexicans crossing the border. And I'm not saying it to be discriminatory or bigotry or whatever. The problem is how many Chinese nationals are getting in. That
tons.
Yeah, and it's not like you want to let an enemy country, infiltrate so easily.
Exactly, it's an invasion.
But we're not bothering to defend it. I mean,
I look at it this way: Kelly actually is following the Constitution. He exercised his Second Amendment right, and he protected the border where he could in his area. So hats off to him. I think this will be my happy ending of the week. Maybe next week I think I'll report that.
Gee, I thought that had a different connotation. I'm leaving that alone. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Hey. We don't.
You know that.
We're not the G-rated show here. Stop it, Clay. Comes to the 701. Clay's on with me here. I saw this one over the weekend and had figured this was going to come up sooner or later, either by you or by me. And I'll just say right from the beginning, I am not related to Nicole Mitchell whatsoever.
Okay.
That I know of, anyway.
That's good to hear. Well, I thought it'd be interesting to you, being it's over in Minnesota. I'm actually heading there this weekend as well again.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So
don't let it rub off on you. Some of that stuff's contagious over there.
Nah, I love going. I don't love going there, but it is a little bit more gratifying because I don't follow their let's just say their Second Amendment rules they got over there.
We pick on outstate. We pick on Minnesota, but outstate Minnesota's really not so bad. It's the inner Twin Cities where it gets weird.
Actually, most of Minnesota, and get out in the rural areas, is conservative. But yeah, they're ruled by the three main. Until
you get to the Arrowhead, then all of a sudden it's distinctly different. But beautiful country up there. Why is it? It's the beautiful parts of the world where all of a sudden you find those. The other end of politics where they end up goofing everything up. And it's not even just liberal or conservative. It's the people that goof. Look how goofed up California's gotten.
Yeah.
The coastline's pretty, but geez, they goofed that state up. Anyway, what the heck did Nicole Mitchell do over there? Because gee whiz.
Well, she decided to get herself in trouble and was arrested for first-degree burglary. And I think the reason I even brought this up is, of course, it's close to us. But she's like a huge advocate for gun confiscation, is basically, and she's a huge part of the Moms Demand, and as Jamie rightfully named it, the Moms Demand gun confiscation group. She was just beaming from ear to ear and taking pictures just a few days before she actually committed a burglary. I mean, I was reading the tweets in the tweet deal that was out there on X, and it was funny to watch, and they were right. There was a bunch of them in there, but people were on there going, oh, yeah, that makes sense. You got a hypocritical Democrat out there who doesn't want you to have guns, then it makes it easier for them to rob you.
Same crowd that wants to defund police, but then make sure they have a ton of security around them.
Same ones, and we saw that happen. I don't know if you saw that video here in California over the weekend. That was a whole other thing. But got surrounded by armed guards, but nobody else can have them. You know, that's just how it goes. Rules for thee, not for thou.
Exactly.
So I don't know how this is going to go for her, but it sounded like it was more of a family dispute. But nonetheless, she still broke the law. But in the same breath, she's demanding that people like you and me, oh, no, we got to take your guns away. And of course, they use all the key terms. It's common sense gun control. No, it's not. It's called tyranny. It's called control, and it's called having their thumb on you as the private citizen by those in power. And I find it very, very, very ironic that the same person that calls for this kind of stuff also broke the law herself because evidently it fit her own personal agenda. So she thought, yeah, you know what? I don't have to follow the law. I'll just go ahead and do what I want anyway. You know, yeah.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly. 8:53 at KFYR's Clay with Guns in the 701 doing solo. If you thought Minnesota was bad, New York judge says the Second Amendment doesn't exist here? Since when?
I can't believe this. Well, we're seeing that. We're seeing lawfare right now, aren't we, out in New York? Looks like nothing applies in New York if they don't like it. Dexter Taylor, he's a guy who, during the China virus thing, he got interested in building firearms, which this is not illegal, everybody. You may build your own firearm. You can do that. So he did it, but not in the state of New York, evidently. They actually went in there. They stormed his house is what they did. The article I sent you, I went a little farther. And I mean, they went in here, guns drawn, and basically wanted to take this guy out. They actually charged him. You have to listen to this. Second-degree criminal possession of a loaded weapon, 4 counts of third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, 5 counts of criminal possession of a firearm, second-degree criminal possession of 5 or more firearms. Really? 5 or more? That's interesting. And then unlawful possession of a pistol ammunition, violation of certificate of registry. I mean, this just goes on for paragraphs. And all because he was building his own. He was taking lowers, 80%ers, and finishing them out. So he was learning a machining technique, which is not illegal as well to do. And then what I really loved is how the police and the prosecutor were just absurdly surprised. Is that a good way to put it? He had 8 pistols, 5 rifles or 6, not sure, AR-style rifles, and then 8 or 9 Glock pistols that he all built. And this was concerning to them. The guy, he took up a gunsmithing hobby. He wasn't really doing it as a business, as they were trying to say. He was basically building these for himself, especially when he was locked down in New York at home. So he was occupying his time and learning a new skill. And they found him guilty. The jury there, I'm sure it's going to be appealed. I hope it is, because I think this is going to be a great test of what we keep talking about, the Bruin decision. And I think it's going to be a really good case to say, does Bruin withstand the ruling that the Supreme Court came out with, or are we going to have to go back and battle this thing again and again and again? So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes down. I don't think this 52-year-old man, he was a software engineer. Sounds like he's got an outstanding... They talked to neighbors, and the neighbors around him loved him, didn't have no problem with what was going on. He gets sentenced in May, but we'll see what happens to him, because I don't think the guy belongs in jail, looking into this case. And I think that they just wanted to make an example. But the judge, when they presented the Second Amendment as an argument, said, and this is what she said, do not bring the Second Amendment into this courtroom. It doesn't exist here, so you can't argue Second Amendment. This is New York. That was her exact words to the defense attorney. Can you imagine that?
I shake my head at New York law, or New York judges rather, because we already with the Trump trial and the judge telling Trump's attorney that your credibility is already blah blah blah. Well, that doesn't sound prejudicial.
No, not at all.
God,
she went farther. She tried to sway the jury, basically. And when I looked up the record of that, and it, it was in our article too, but she actually tried to sway them into thinking if they voted any other way than to convict, that they were going to be in trouble. Are you kidding me? The judge threatens you that you will do this, or you better consider this, or I'm going to put you in jail. I mean, that's basically what.
Got to be somewhere where the mistrial can be declared. Real quick here, Guns of the 701, Michigan man first to be charged under gun storage law after son shot himself. What happened there?
Well, they passed a brand new law in Michigan last year, along with other ones, and unfortunately, this guy, it sounded like his grandson was over his son, and he didn't follow the law. Basically, firearms have to be in a locked box or a container. If they have children living with them or plan to visit you, you have to have it locked up. It's a penalty of 93 days in prison or up to $500 in fines. This guy's 56. Did find out, though, that he is kind of facing a lot more charges. He evidently couldn't have a firearm. They're also charging him with second-degree child abuse and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person and firearm safe storage violations. The reason that this is actually probably more of a story to me is because we just saw two parents here recently in the last few months that were also convicted in Michigan and sent to jail because their kids used a gun that was in the home. This is getting to be repetitious in Michigan. There's several cases actually in different dockets out there that are going after the same thing. So now we're going to hold, yes, parents need to be responsible, but then what happens? Are they going to sue parents and put them in jail if their child's driving under the age of 18?
Yes.
And wrecks his car killing
That's
someone?
what's going to happen.
They could be charged, but that's exactly what they're going after. They want everybody scared, and it's ridiculous.
All right. I'm up against the clock, but what do you got real quick?
Yep.
What do you got coming up?
We got Wednesday. We're going to have a great show for you again, 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 7 o'clock Central, and, of course, every single Friday right here on Mitchell in the Morning at our new time temporarily at 8:40 and iHeart.com. Best podcast out there.
Fantastic. Guns of the 701. All right. Take care, Clay. Have a great weekend. Jay Schatz of Bismarck is 6 today. Matthew Fisher is 18. Larissa Goldaddy of Strasburg, 18. Steve Stern of Golden Valley, 62. Laney Simons of Dickinson, 12. Kelsey Deckard celebrating a 32nd in Baldwin. Haley Frank of Aberdeen.